What's going on, everyone? Please excuse how I look right now. I know I look a mess. I was up late last night editing a different video. I don't know when that video will come out. But today we're going to be talking about the 5 teams that will be making the playoffs in the West. So let's just jump into the video. So the first team I want to talk about is the Houston Rockets. You know, they're just now coming off of a pretty successful season. Obviously they could have done better, but, they had to play the Golden State Warriors eventually, but they just ended up playing them in the second round. If they didn't play the Golden State Warriors in the second round, they obviously would have made it to the Western Conference Finals. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Obviously, the Rockets added some new pieces this offseason. They got Russell Westbrook. Which is the biggest change, obviously. Then they got Tyson Chandler. They got Cephalosha. I can't pronounce his name right. It's a cool last name though. But they got him. They got Ryan Anderson back, which is crazy. But they got Ryan Anderson back. Those are probably the names that are more important than the guys that they signed, like Anthony Bennett and I forgot the other guy's name, but he did play the other night in the preseason game against the Sharks. But anyways, they got a lot of new pieces this season. Nothing crazy, but Tyson Chandler is gonna help out. Clint Capella, and apparently they got Nene back. I thought he retired, but he apparently he didn't. So it's going to help out those guys a lot because they play a lot of Capella plays a lot of minutes. And Nene, they don't play him as much anymore, but still. And Russell Westbrook, again, will help James Harden a little bit since he doesn't have to have the ball in his hands a lot. I would say James Harden would need to play off the ball a little bit more just because he's a better shooter, but that's not for me to say. They still got Mike D'Antoni. They lost a lot of people from their coaching staff, so that might be something to worry about. Defensively, I don't know how this team is going to be, but offensively, they're obviously going to be a good team under Mike D'Antoni and with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Eric Gordon, who got a contract extension with the Rockets. But ultimately, the future of this team does lie in Westbrook in Harden's hands, so we'll just have to see what happens. So the next team I want to talk about is the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers had a pretty rough season last year. I thought they were going to at least make the playoffs since they got LeBron James, but due to injuries, that did not happen, including LeBron James. He did get injured, which is weird. I don't think he's ever been injured in his career, but he did get injured this season, which is crazy. A lot of their starters got injured as well. It was just not a good season. And going into the offseason, the drama continued with Luke Walton, Magic Johnson. There's just a huge mess. They got new members in the coaching staff, obviously, and they got new players, obviously. They got Anthony Davis, which is the biggest change and the most important change. Which if they can't make the playoffs with Anthony Davis and LeBron James on the same team, they got a huge problem. And I don't know what hope, if there is any after that, would be left for the Lakers if they find a way to mess that up. But they got Dwight Howard and they got Danny Green. But I want to talk about Dwight Howard because this is very interesting, man. Dwight Howard, he's an excellent rebounder. He's an excellent defensive player. He can score in the post, probably not as much as he used to be able to, but it's going to be interesting to see Dwight Howard play alongside with LeBron James. LeBron's going to that's what he does. He makes people better. So I think this is going to be very interesting. But this team will make the playoffs. I know that for a fact. So the next team I want to talk about is the LA Clippers. This team is very interesting because they kept all of their pieces that they had from this season, like Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, Pat Beverly, and then they add 2 superstar players like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, which is crazy. They kept everybody and added 2 superstars. It's incredible. This team is going to be very scary, especially when it comes to the playoffs. They will 100% make the playoffs this year. If they can't, I don't know why, but they got Kawhi Leonard this offseason, which was a smart move, obviously. And everyone knew he was going to come to LA. Everyone thought it was the Lakers, but he ended up signing with the Clippers. He ended, and last year in the playoffs, man, he balled out. In the regular season, I mean, it's not that I didn't notice he was on the Raptors, but he wasn't as dominant as he was in the playoffs. The playoffs, he carried the Raptors on his back, and he destroyed basically any team that they matched up with, including the Warriors. So, this was a very good pickup for the Clippers. I almost said Lakers, but I think it's going to be very interesting to watch these two guys play together. Kawhi Leonard is an excellent defensive player. He's just an excellent all-around player. And Paul George, he's an excellent offensive player. I'm not really too sure about his defense, to be honest with you. So I really can't say nothing about that. But this team is a team that you got to watch out for. I know Paul George's time in OKC really wasn't the best, but he had a lot of highs there, and I think that this is a good chance not to really redeem himself, because really that whole OKC situation was a disaster for Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George, and now none of them are there anymore. So anyways, this is going to be a team to watch. They might even make it to the finals. Who knows? So the next thing I want to talk about is the Golden State Warriors, man. They've been pretty dominant for the past couple years. I really hate the Warriors, though. I'm a Rockets fan, so you guys know that I hate the Warriors. I don't even want to talk about this team, but I'm going to briefly cover them and, talk about their team and stuff. So their bench is what really interests me, because they have nobody on the bench. Literally, I've never heard of these guys that are on the bench. And then you got Klay Thompson, who's injured, which is crazy, because now you're going to have to start D'Angelo Russell. I thought D'Angelo Russell was going to come off the bench, but you're going to have to start him now because you don't have Klay Thompson for a good amount of the season. And I'll talk about D'Angelo Russell in a little bit. But it's crazy to me that they don't have anyone after KD leaves. And they're still probably going to be a good team. They're probably going to make the 3rd seed, 2nd seed. I don't think they're going to make the 1st seed, but who knows? I could be wrong on that. You never know who can make the 1st seed. The Suns can make the 1st seed, goddammit. But anyways, it's just so interesting to see how this team lost a lot of pieces. But, obviously they're still going to – I'm not saying they're going to be a bad team. A lot of people are saying they're going to be a bad team, but I really don't think that at all, because like I said, they got D'Angelo Russell. They're very good at getting, other some star players in the offseason, to come off the bench or just be that extra piece that they need to take them far in the playoffs. And I think that with Coach Kirk, they're still they're definitely gonna make it pretty far in the playoffs. But I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell, because a lot of people are going crazy over this trade. They talk about how this is gonna make the Warriors even better, yada yada yada. To me, honestly, if I'm being honest, D'Angelo Russell to me has been a little bit overrated over the years. That's just my opinion. I mean, a lot of people might get mad when I say this, but that's just how I feel. He's always been a little bit overrated. He's an excellent player, though. It's just he's just a little bit overrated to me. But either way, he's an excellent player. He's an excellent scorer. And, honestly, I think that, he's going to fit in really well with this system, this team, especially with Steve Kerr coaching. It's just going to be pretty pretty fun to watch, but I probably won't watch it because I hate the Warriors. But anyway, yeah, it's just gonna be different, especially with Steph and Clay. Well, Clay's out, so with Steph and Draymond and well, that's really all they have. But it's gonna be different with those guys being, the go-to guys, and then along with D'Angelo Russell. So that's the Warriors for you. We'll just see what happens with them. So yeah. So the next team and the final team that I want to talk about is a team that no one's really talking about, man, and that's the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I know they're not going to, win the championship this year, but I think they're going to make the playoffs at least. They're at least going to make the 8th seed, in my opinion, because they got Luka, and obviously they got Kristaps Porzingis back. He is going to be playing. He hasn't played for the Mavericks yet because he's been injured, but he is going to be playing this year. And this is going to be very interesting. Everyone's probably forgotten about Kristaps Porzingis because he's been injured for so long. So it's going to be pretty cool to see him come back and just start dominating other big men and just destroying other big men, because he's a hell of a player. I remember watching him play his rookie season. It was pretty scary, man. But anyways, I think that it's going to be very fun to watch these two guys play together. Now that Dirk Nowitzki's gone, it just leaves more room for these two guys to come in and, carry this team on their back. So, yeah. But anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know if you liked it. I just want to try something a little bit different. And be sure to expect a video on Saturday after the Lakers and Warriors game. I think it's on Saturday. I really don't know, though. After that preseason game, I will be making a video no later than Sunday night for sure, because I do want to get that video out. So, yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment, like, dislike, whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next one.